Sean O'Malley, a pay-per-view star, that's what we are going to be looking at in today's conversation. He is sold to us as the UFC's brand new superstar. Israel Adesanya is about to realize the reality of his brand now that the UFC celebrity factory is moving from him to O'Malley. Yeah, O'Malley is now the new toy for Emperor Dana and the boys, one far younger and more powerful. But obviously, the real question is here, is he actually a draw? Can he carry a pay-per-view? This is all coming off the back of Aljamain saying that he is disappointed with the sales of his last pay-per-view with O'Malley. Look, like Adesanya, the UFC are very quick to tell us how much of a star O'Malley is, but they stack the cards that he is on to make the card a massive event. What if you took Sean O'Malley, put him on a dead card, let's say a UFC 289 with no Charles Oliveira on it? Like, how would that card sell? It was estimated that UFC 289 sold around 300,000 buys, which, I don't know, that seems to be like the baseline amount that the UFC monthly pay-per-view will do no matter what, which is kind of amazing, right? Like, any business that can sell 300,000 monthly tickets at like $80 each, $90 each, whatever it is a pretty healthy business, yeah? We've got Sean O'Malley. Like, Sean O'Malley's attempt at winning the title against Aljamain Sterling was just a better card. It had more hype around it, better undercard. The whole thing was built around him getting the belt, like from the quick turnaround that they put Aljo on, the city that it was in. Like, it even might have helped that your boy Dougie was in that city too at the time, just drawing more eyes to Boston. I'm obviously kidding, right? But Boston, it was transformed into like O'Malley-ton, yeah? It was all set up for O'Malley. And according to O'Malley, that pay-per-view did about 500 to 600,000 pay-per-view buys. According to Henry Cejudo, the Cringe King, that did about 320,000 pay-per-view buys. So who is lying here? Okay, so obviously Sean O'Malley's ego and brand need to have him as a pay-per-view star, whereas Cejudo wants to start a beef with the champ, get some back and forth going so that the UFC will have a reason to run Cejudo as champion, to have a go at winning the title against O'Malley. We can now clearly see that the most important thing to whether or not you get a title shot is to how many tickets you can potentially sell, and Henry Cejudo obviously knows this. So, a new voice, Aljamain Sterling, dropped his argument into this, and Aljo had direct back dealings with UFC 292. He obviously was the one receiving a cut of that pay-per-view. According to him, it was a pretty disappointing payday for him. So, what does Aljo get out of downplaying the sales of UFC 292, okay? He is officially moving out of Sean's weight class, so there's no chance of building a new fight in that direction of Sean O'Malley. And the fight is a two-person dance. The sales are between the two of them. Like, who you're fighting matters when it comes to who's buying the tickets to watch the fight. And by publicizing how average 292 was, he's just telling the marketplace that he is not a pay-per-view draw. Which is not a great move for Aljo. Like, why would he go out and say that? I think part of the deal with Sean here is that he sells to a much younger audience, and I don't know if an audience of that age is dropping between $80 and $90 or whatever it does cost to buy a pay-per-view. On top of that, it almost seems like the entire pay-per-view market is dropping, yeah? Like, there has been price increases every year since the pandemic, and you know, once you watch a pay-per-view like UFC 289, headlined by Nunes for free, you already know where the links are. So next month when it comes along and you've got to spend that $80, you know where the link was. You can go and watch UFC 290, 291, 292, and next thing you know, you are just in a habit of not paying for pay-per-views anymore. However, though, having said that, UFC 291, headlined by Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje, apparently that made about 750,000 pay-per-view buys. So clearly there is still a strong market for pay-per-views. So if this is the case, how can we see if Sean O'Malley is the star that they claim that he is, right? Let's have a look at it from this angle for a second. UFC 289 was an underwhelming card by all accounts. That was the one headlined by Nunes. And it got about 340,000 people to go and watch the press conference for free on YouTube, where UFC 291, that presser had a massive 936,000 people to watch the presser for free on YouTube. Now, UFC 292, O'Malley's shot at the title, had 810,000 watch it on YouTube. So clearly there is a massive interest in Sean O'Malley. If his press conference is getting close to the numbers as Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje numbers, that is a very, very good sign for O'Malley. So maybe the thing that Aljamain Sterling is complaining about here is that O'Malley's fans are indeed that younger fan base and they're just not interested in dropping the 80 or 90 pay-per-view dollars, whatever it costs, and they are going and looking for a stream somewhere else. I mean, he must have a younger audience, right? Like, the dude dresses like a Fortnite character. He drives the Joker's Lamborghini around, like, again, like he's some sort of gaming character. He thinks that putting a blunt in your mouth is what makes you look cool, and he invites his friends over to come and smash his wife. Like, what adult is a fan of this guy? He's obviously a great fighter, an amazing striker, but as a personality, he's an interesting character, to say the least. So is he a pay-per-view star? Look, at the end of the day, it looks like the UFC is still a massive brand that can sell pay-per-views on its own. And within that massive brand, Sean O'Malley is one of the biggest stars. Let's break it down and look at it just like this. On a bad day, the UFC can sell 300,000 pay-per-view buys, and adding Sean O'Malley to that will probably add 100,000 to 200,000 pay-per-view buys. If that is the case, then I would say, yes, he is a pay-per-view star. And if Aljamain Sterling was disappointed with the sales, it might be more interesting to see maybe Aljamain Sterling is the problem here. Like, he is going to be lucky if he can ever sell another pay-per-view in his life again. Now, that sounds harsh. It does, but Aljo has had a harsh run with the fans. You know, he won the belt on his knees by faking an injury. He had that close fight with Cejudo that he barely won, and fans think that he lost. There's a lot of reasons that the fans were sick of him and are sick of him, or were sick of him as a champion. On top of that, he's 34, right? He's starting again in a new weight class. He's not known for his amazing striking. So after his MMA career is over, who's offering him this money fight in boxing when he leaves MMA? I mean, we can honestly say for Aljamain Sterling, you will be lucky to ever sell another pay-per-view in your life. Whereas O'Malley, he will definitely sell 100 to 200,000 on top of the 300,000 that the UFC is going to sell just at least in the next 6 months. And when he does retire from MMA, O'Malley has got that fun money boxing fight somewhere in his back pocket as well. He's got enough for at least one celebrity boxing fight. So is Sean O'Malley a pay-per-view star? Yeah, he is. He's not my flavor of champion, but the Sugar Show is officially in town. The circus tents are set up. We might as well just kick back and enjoy the show. Let me know down there in the comments, do you think that Sean O'Malley is a draw? Do you click buy to watch the Sugar Show, or is he just part of the UFC machine that we are used to consuming? Down in the comments, just like Colt did in my "What would you do with Tony Ferguson" video. Colt said, make him retire, Dana. The dude has brain damage and loses every fight. An amateur fighter can finish him, and he's banging with the best. Colt, bro, thank you for the comment. The amount of people that are all on the same mindset of this, I've never seen us MMA fans so united. I mean, I recently just made a wish list for MMA fans of 2024. I should have added like retire Tony on that. Oh well. Colt, thanks for the comment, mate. You are a bloody legend. Let me know your thoughts down here in the comments on Sean O'Malley. Is he a pay-per-view star, or are you just enjoying him as part of the overall UFC brand? Very interested to know which way the audience is sort of consuming the whole Sean O'Malley thing, you know? Let me hear it down there. If you're still watching this part of the video, it means that you have been entertained in some way, or I've given you a different perspective, a different way to look at Sean O'Malley. So if you could say thank you by going ahead and hitting that subscribe button down there before you go ahead and shoot off to your next video. It really helps small creators like myself. I appreciate every single one of you. And if in the future you're just getting sick of my content popping up on your screen, you can always click unsubscribe. Totally fine. Until then, enjoy the holiday break. Merry Christmas, and I'll see you all in the next video.